I thought it'd be really cool to go with you guys what's really important when it comes to being able to generate an ongoing sustainable business online. And when you look at this, it's so cool when you think about it. I like to correlate what happens in business to similar to things that happen in our bodies. You know, so many things happen. I think of my middle son who's always dealt with asthma. He had specific triggers that would cause it, whether it was cat dander, carpet, dog hair, pollen, all these different things will trigger, or what they call exacerbate, sneezes, coughs, runny nose, runny eyes, and that type of thing. Well, I want you to think about this. When it comes to you gaining a subscriber, getting a transaction online, or someone receiving something that they paid for that's digitally delivered, it takes triggers to do that. And so today, just to give you a glimpse of what happens inside of a workflow. If you wonder, what's a workflow? Workflow is when you channel the energy of things that are occurring on behalf of a customer receiving the value that you're offering them is done inside of a workflow. But in order for it to ignite, we don't want it to be that you have to go and click on something to see it happen. What happens is you actually, the customer does something and it triggers all of these things to happen for it, like our bodies. If I talk to you for an hour, your heart would beat 4,500 times. If I were to talk for 24 hours, or if you just think about your last 24 hours, your heart beat about 315,000 times. Well, that happens on its own, and there's triggers that come from your SA node and specific electrical signals that are in your body, sodium, potassium pumps, and so much more. So all we're doing is taking our business and plugging in things that work in automation so that even if we're sleeping, if we're on vacation, at the doctor's office, or even having dinner, that these things are happening because there are triggers that cause a workflow to work at optimal. So let's take a look together. I don't want you to miss this. I'm going to just show you what causes these triggers so you can understand why you want to automate everything. That's why we do that in Automation Academy, and I don't want you to miss it. So check this out. Walk with me, if you will. As we look at the screen, I want you to note that I'm beginning a new workflow, right? And it doesn't matter what it is, whatever it is, I'll just name it. But what's really cool is you get a chance to see exactly what happens. So in order for a workflow to start, there needs to be a trigger. What's going to cause it to kick off and start? And so I like to think of what it might be, but if I'm looking to work with a customer from an opt-in form or social media or something else, someone clicks on a link and watches a video, maybe only 40% of it or something, I want to trigger these other things to occur. So let's look. If I go down, hey, is it someone's birthday? Is that going to be triggered? Because I put a date in the system by that person's name. Does the system automatically know it? Does it trigger a text message and or email message that's going to wish them happy birthday? Does their contact change, right? What is it? There's do not disturb. There's a tag. This is one of the most popular ones when you can create a tag. This specific customer bought ice cream from me and I have an ice cream tag so I know who it is, right? So it's a gross example, but I want you to get the idea that there are no limitations to when you use these workflows and how you trigger them. Custom date reminder, right? Notes changed. What is it that it is that's triggering the event? Once we know, it's pretty phenomenal. Was there a task added for it? Is there a task reminder? We can take one thing that happens that triggers events such as sending 300 email messages out to this specific list, to delivering a video, giving someone access to your membership. Triggers do all that stuff. So webhook inbounding, is something that happens with third-party applications. You don't need to worry about that right now. But if someone calls and I missed a call, I can trigger the system to automatically send them a text message, let them know that I'm busy, but they can text back and let me know what's going on, and I'll call them at my earliest convenience. Email events. I love this is my favorite one because one action in an email or my website will trigger how I communicate with you next. If you don't do anything in the email, that can trigger something. If you click a link, of course, what we call a trigger link, that can cause a specific email series, SMS message, or granting you something. And so triggers and workflows are pretty phenomenal. And don't worry, if you don't know what any of this stuff is, you should recognize that you're missing out on having things automatically work for you. But most people, as the further I go down this list, the more you're going to see your place in all of it. Isn't it interesting that when someone submits a survey, that can trigger email messages, SMS text messages. It can determine someone getting a delivery of a message. It can determine getting a social media message from you or reply. And the further I go down, it's crazier. This trigger link can be when someone clicks to watch a video that you've made. You can then determine to start communicating with them about anything you want. If in fact someone clicks on a link to view an article that you've written or a blog post, when they click it, automatically this system, if you tell it to, it's going to trigger a series of events that can occur for the next 5 years straight. I could go on, but I just want to read down the line and let you see a few more. Facebook lead form submitted. You got a lead. You have a form in your Facebook, and someone submits it. It can trigger a chain of events that engages you with that customer, not only in social media, but in email, in SMS, in other ways, even in sending them a voicemail from you that's already pre-recorded. There are things like that that I think are just phenomenal, but I love it because I don't want to spend all day working. I love automation, and so automation gives you that ability. TikTok form submitted. Someone responds to you in TikTok from an ad or something. They put their name or email address into a form. From that point forward, they're in your list, and you're communicating with them as long as you choose. For us, we like to do it in automation. We like a minimum of a year in advance of engagement until they either unsubscribe or continue to subscribe with us. How about this? A LinkedIn lead form. Someone views your website. They landed on your funnel page. Just landing there can trigger a chain of events, but also they can reply in it. If someone books an appointment with you, or maybe their values changed as a customer for you. Maybe they were just a baseline customer, but they've upgraded and they bought a more premium package. That will trigger different change of events. I can go down the line and let you know that workflows deserve your attention. Jump into Automation Academy, find out exactly what you're missing, because not only do we teach you how to get the type of automation in your results, but we also give you the correct customer relation management tool needed to be able to do it. So don't wait any longer. Go ahead and click within the description and find out exactly how you can begin to leverage automations in these workflows. See ya.